All right, welcome to the second video of this 2024 NFL Draft analysis for the Tennessee Titans. In the second round, they took defensive tackle Tavonjay Sweat out of Texas. But before we get started, I wanted to let everybody know that there will be a video series talking about who I would have selected as well. Something I've done since 2019 publicly. First year was definitely experimenting. Now we're at year 5 or 6. So definitely want to let people know to stay tuned for that, who I would have taken at pick 38. But the Tennessee Titans decided to go with the defensive tackle, the mammoth, the behemoth from Texas, who played 35 snaps a game, 6'5", 6'6", 360, 365. There were reports that he ballooned up to 380, 390 playing for the Longhorns. That's the objective data. That's the type of player that you're getting. Some of this data with 35 snaps a game, it's overblown because some schemes in college, you have a lot of rotation, have players constantly moving in and out. And then on average, it depends on how a game goes. So I wouldn't put that much credence into how much he played per game at Texas. But looking at how he fits in the NFL and with this team, specifically with the Titans, that's more important than the, very fluid data that may come out about his playing time. Now, let's talk usage. Players in his weight range and players in his height range at the defensive tackle position. As I've said in the last video, go check it out, the J.C. Latham pick. I'm going to start off with the shelf life. The shelf life is low historically for players at that height and weight. It just is. For reasons that can only be applied through, empirical data and studying and interviews to why that happens, why that occurs. My guess is that the wear and tear of a physical sport like football, and what it has on the frame and the body of a player like that. And then you got every year players are getting bigger, faster, stronger. And if an NFL team decides that, hey, we prefer the faster, stronger, quicker than the size aspect compared to someone lacking speed, then they're going to take that player over another player. So I guess the key is to stay in shape. Don't lose that speed. Don't lose that twitchiness or or ability to penetrate quickly, and you'll be okay. But as far as Tavonjay Sweat, the player present day, the potential is his ceiling is cathedral high. Cathedral high. So how he fits in that Tennessee Titans game, he's going to be a guy that's going to demand double teams. He's going to be a quick penetrator. He has excellent hands, ability to get in the backfield. You have some questions about his ability to move laterally across long distances, but in short area, short yardage, he's going to be tough to move. A lot of people see him only as a two-down player. I could definitely see that, early in the game, two down, but as a sudden surprise for offensive linemen, seeing him on third down, and if the Titans have a NASCAR package to where they got a lot of speed guys, plus Jeffrey Simmons, his running mate, I believe that he can pass rush. I believe that he can be a three-down player as well. He has like I said, he has the power in his hands, the ability to swim, rip, to get to the quarterback. Now, the closing speed will be the issue. Like I said, moving laterally, closing the speed, moving, penetrating the line, and then if there's a distance between him and the quarterback, closing that gap could be faster. But then again, he does have length. So his ability to bat passes will be an asset. His ability on special teams to possibly block kicks will be an asset. He's a player that you have to use situationally, and you have to really double down on the thought process of why you took him. And when you take a player like that, where a lot of people have disdain because defense nose tackles, let's get more specific about the defensive tackle aspect of it. He's essentially a nose tackle that they don't think that the usage for a nose tackle it pays out selecting him in the top 40. You know, um, for me personally, I think that there are other things that has been reported about what he could be off the field that definitely affects the evaluation holistically because you're already talking about the shelf life, then you're talking about the usage, then you're talking about the fact will he even be able to play because of suspension or other things that has been reported about his character profile. Let's not run away from that because that is important as well. These scouts are pretty much private eyes, private investigators. They have to figure out who are they actually drafting? Who are they putting into the city and the state and the community? Of who are they putting in these communities? So it's all about the trust in which you're trying to um, convey as scouts to the GM. Then the GM takes over and he does his work and his process of learning about the character profile. So once you collectively get a picture of what this player will be off the field, you have to kind of just go for it. And I've said this before. It's like, I don't think if this pick misses, that it's going to create that much tension in the front office. But because, like I said, they're all about they're all about collaboration. So they're going to win together, they're going to lose together, they're going to miss together, they're going to hit together. So it is what it is. Like for me, I like the aesthetics, which that would be a word I will use when I'm describing who I would have picked. I like the aesthetics of these first two picks because aesthetically, it is what football is all about, and it's about controlling the trenches. But it's all about the end result as well, because a knockdown is a knockdown, a pancake is a pancake, a TFL is a TFL. It doesn't matter if the player was 340 or 380 pounds, 370 pounds. It doesn't matter the aesthetic of it. It matters if it gets done. So overall, if he can do that at a higher rate than someone who is 30 pounds lighter, if he can do it at a higher rate, then this is a great pick. It's a hit, either one of them. But if it's not, then it's like it's aesthetic. It's about the visual. It looks cool. You have two trench monsters, Trench King and a trench monster, right? And I'll get more into that when I talk about my picks, but this pick is pretty much self-explanatory. It's Newton's law of motion, right? It's Newton's law. It's this massive being moving at this rate against players who are 50 pounds lighter. What's going to happen? He's probably going to burrow them into the backfield. And if he's not burrow them into the backfield, teams will adjust and then teammates will benefit off of that. Linebackers behind him will benefit off of that. Defensive linemen to his left and right will benefit him penetrating quickly, as well as demanding double teams, right? The DBs will benefit because the ball is getting out of quarterback's hands faster. Some of those opportunities will be taken away. Why? Because the ball will be batted by him. Possibly could have been intercepted, but he batted it. There's a lot of give and take with this pick, but it's a wild card that could pan out, could not. That's the name of the game. But with that being said, stay tuned for the next draft pick evaluation as we talk about who the Tennessee Titans took in the third round. Did they have a third round pick? No, fourth round.